Fortnite has tons of hidden details, from emotes hinting at Fortnite's past and future, map changes for the coming event, and even the Star Wars collab being revealed in its entirety years ago. And here's 20 secret details that everyone missed. A skin that was secretly updated in the last patch was Aang himself. That's right, because in the previous update, fans of The Last Airbender rushed to check the skin to see if Aang had his iconic foot scar. To everyone's surprise, the Mark of the Legend was missing, leaving us all to wonder how Epic could miss such an iconic detail. But logging with the Aang skin in the new update though, and Epic have officially added the scar to his foot, so it's safe to say that the skin is finally accurate. In the brand new update, Fortnite added a tiny change that's definitely there to troll us. If you visit the Olympus biome often throughout the season, you'll have noticed that hidden in plain sight there was a leg statue with 6 nails, which, as strange as it was, there was no explanation. Well, now out of nowhere, Epic decided to change one of its 6 toes by painting the nail to the color pink. This was probably to troll Zeus or the gods as part of the upcoming apocalypse season, but we'll just have to wait and see. That wasn't the only thing to get updated, because on the other corner of the map, located on the Underworld's territory, there was a hidden change on a special van. When traveling across the Underworld, you might have spotted a van that feels almost out of place, and that's because it doesn't even belong there. The van is a reference to the popular show Breaking Bad, sharing similar colors as well as the 2 iconic chairs outside of it. If you didn't believe it to be another reference before, Epic went ahead and added a pizza box on top of it in the new update, which is a callback to another scene from the series. The collab's clearly being teased more and more, and we can only hope to see it arrive in-game soon, maybe with some themed cosmetics. Another new collab is the new Loki set, which has tons of hidden references for both Fortnite as well as Marvel fans. At first glance, his knife flip emote serves as a callback to Loki's iconic knife flip inside of the Marvel universe, specifically in Thor Ragnarok and his TV show. But after that, random items begin appearing. We can spot 2 blue cubes, one in each hand, which are both very iconic. One is Marvel's very own Tesseract, the item Loki's obsessed with in the Avengers movie, and the other one you recognize is Blevin the Cube. This was the blue version of Kevin the Cube that the community helped heal in the Operation Skyfire event, and everyone compared it to the Tesseract, so to see them side by side in this is perfect. The cubes then turned to alligator plushies, but not just any alligators, as this is the infamous alligator Loki variant from the Loki series. Then these turned into TVA time pads used a lot to time travel in the show, and then into literal bananas to never let anyone know your next move. The one controlling these time pads is Ms. Minutes, iconic inside of the show for her mannerisms and obsessive behavior, and now she's a backbling with secret reactivity. In addition to her idle animation, when getting eliminations, she'll salute you, proud that you're eliminating all competition. In the show, she's created by a character named He Who Remains, a character that's mentioned directly in her description, but he's nowhere to be found as a skin. This may be due to recent complications with the character's actor, so it's unlikely if we're ever going to see him as a skin. To successfully run the TVA, the agents use the time stick to prune variants from other timelines, and there's now a pickaxe for Loki that is one of these. It's used in a lot of the series, but it's mostly a reference to the scene where Loki had to prune himself with the same stick in order to survive a crisis. Something that we can't see coming though is the incoming mini event for season 2 approaching, thanks to our newest addition on the map. If you head over to the island shores at Lovely Lodge, you can notice multiple telescopes and camps were just set up in the new update. They're everywhere, on top of cliffs, outside of houses, and even a pair of frog statues share one. They all have been placed there to watch the huge lightning storm that'll be forming outside of the map for the upcoming event, probably destroying a couple buildings in its path. Speaking of destruction, one of everyone's favorite skins this season was completely changed. That's right, because everyone was a little bit confused as to why skins like Zeus had shotgun shells or grenades on his hip, and now we officially know the answer. The character's true concept art was revealed, and in it on Zeus's hip he has lightning grenades, something that honestly would have made a lot more sense. Unfortunately, they were scrapped for the final design, but they're still reminiscent in his backbling. Speaking of backblings, Trace's beacon glass backbling is currently having a glitch that's changed it entirely. Before the update was normal just with 3 crystals on your back, but now it defies all laws of gravity by having a falling animation. When using it, one of the crystals will drift away in slow motion, falling to the ground and then disappearing completely, while the other ones remain intact, just slightly misplaced. This definitely has to be one of the most interesting and random glitches to happen, as it's really one of a kind, and we can assume Epic will come in handy and fix this soon. Speaking of hands, someone whose hands have a very important detail is Yoda. Aside from his idle animation and just looking around, he isn't willing to let his hands go of his precious stick under any circumstance, but there is a way that he lets go. The stick itself is a pickaxe as well, so if you equip it while also wearing the Yoda backbling, you'll notice how he places his hands on top of the basket. That's not all though, because when you search ammo boxes or chests, he'll hum in a questionable tone, something that's very common for him in the Star Wars films. What's more iconic though is his laugh, which he'll do in game whenever you drink shield potions or shield up in general. And while he might be small, Epic accidentally made him way smaller in his backbling than he's actually supposed to be, so we hope to see this fixed in the future so he's a little more accurate. What's also small compared to the movies is the AT-AT Walker emote, but when performing it, your character will pull out a pair of binoculars. This emote's a little bugged because some characters will place it on top of their heads, defeating the entire point, so until Epic fixes it, they're stuck like that. But these aren't any binoculars because they're used for scouting in the Star Wars universe, but we've actually seen them in Fortnite already in the past. If you remember, back in Chapter 2 Season 1, in the first Star Wars collab dropped featuring the Stormtrooper, there was a short trailer featuring Stormtroopers scouting the area with these exact binoculars. So it's very cool to see the collaborations now come full circle from just one skin to an entire item shop being filled. Speaking of design changes, everyone's seen that Zeus was actually meant to have a scar, whether it be in his Lego version or in different sprays. Well, the actual skin's lacking, but not in this concept art, because you can see Zeus's right eye comes with an electrified blue scar. This isn't officially in game, but it's cool to see a sneak peek through the concept art of how this outfit was really meant to look. Stormtroopers are to be found everywhere in the current event with many outposts on the map, but one of them holds Chewbacca captive with a hidden feature too. If you take a close look at all the Stormtrooper outposts, one of them will have blue smoke, and that's where Chewbacca will be held. Once you get there, you'll notice the Wookiee warrior is actually fighting troopers on his very own, making it a very cool battle scene. If you choose to help Chewbacca against the Stormtroopers, he'll instantly become your ally for the rest of the match, giving a free bowcaster weapon as well. He's also slightly taller than most players, so Epic really nailed the collab with this much attention to detail. Speaking of attention to detail, the Titan hand may be getting a major change before the season's end or even in the next one. A lightning storm is set to reach it, possibly affecting it in the process, and there's more evidence that this might be the case. If you head over to where it currently stands, you might notice that its textures are messed up with grass floating over it. When this happens, it's usually because the POI is going to be changing soon, and with the Titan skin getting revealed, the possibility we'll get something happen to the hand is very high at the moment. Speaking of mini events, the sand inside of Zeus's hourglass will be spilling out and used to end off season 2, and now it's already in game. When battling Zeus, you might have been unaware of a really small change inside Mount Olympus, and that's the hourglass that's placed right next to Meowscles holding the globe statue. To everyone's surprise, it's also really small, but it has a perfectly working countdown as the sand's already in motion. The hourglass itself is part of season 2's ending quest, and we're only a few days away from the reveal of season 3's mini event teaser. There is another season 3 teaser, this time for a skin that looks like it's going to be a remix of an already existing one. Around the map, there's been additions of ramps everywhere. These are to prepare you for the Whiplash Wild Week, where you're going to have to complete trials with said cars. This is actually a teaser for a new version of the dummy skin that'll be getting an apocalyptic look seen in the survey to match next season's theme. The skin's currently an NPC around the map and shows excitement towards the Wild Week coming, further confirming the importance of the quest. So when the Whiplash Wild Week arrives, get moving. Cars aren't the only thing moving right now, as so is the newsfeed. That's right, the newsfeed received a small update that's not easy to spot at all at first glance. If you're AFK in the lobby for a short while, you might notice that in the news tab, a promo trailer will start playing on its own, making the newsfeed able to show animations on its own after 6 years. Something else that changed recently after many years was the removal of the rarity system, and now it's affected the Coachella set. Instead of losing rarity though, V-Bucks actually got it back. In previous updates, everyone spotted that in Save the World, V-Bucks almost looked cursed after their rarity got removed, so to make up for it, Epic decided to bring it back just for the mode, so V-Bucks once again are legendary. That's been Secret Details You Missed. Subscribe with notifications.